Welcome to the Truth is in There podcast with me, your host Dan Stevens. Just myself this week. A lot to talk about, a lot on my mind, and there's a feeling of change in the air. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean, I'm going to change the name of the podcast. Pretty much. And why, you might ask? Well, to me, it's just becoming a bit not what it is anymore. Like the I've said it several times on the podcast. The reason why it was called The Truth is in There is because it was about Google searches. I was going through them. I did that for a while. I think made my point about Google searches. It created a whole new era of storytelling, and we are where we are now. But I want to move on. I want to advance. And I want your ideas about new names for the podcast. Basically, where I'm going with it is that I want it to be limitless in the content. Where I could have a guest on one week. One week I could be doing a short story. That's in the works. I am going to be writing fictional short stories and reading them out for you here. Or performing them for you. Or however it might work. There can be real storytelling, there can be general updates, there can be comedy episodes, could be anything. Basically what I want to create is a podcast where you don't know what's going to be happening next week, but you know you're probably going to like it. You know, you'll be into it. I'll make it interesting. So there's that. Yeah, a lot has happened in the last couple of weeks. I've had 2 Instagram reels that have kind of dare I say, been quite popular. One in particular, it's up to almost 350,000 views now, and I only have just over 2,000 followers on Instagram. So, you know, it's a lot of people that don't follow me watched it and they liked it and shared it and stuff. If you haven't seen it, it's just basically me. I'll play the audio of it for you now. It's just basically what happened was I was crossing the road on the quays in Dublin, from on the north side quays, just crossing over down towards Capel Street at the traffic lights at Capel Street Bridge there, and I see these little red man and a green man like traffic lights in the concrete when you look down. And then there's also regular traffic lights. And, you know, I was like, why are they there? This is new. I've never seen that before in my life, anywhere. And basically I just recorded myself saying, who are they for? And, you know, the thoughts that are going through my mind. I did a voiceover on it actually. Just one I'm ready for. You know, the way cats can't really look up. They don't really like looking up, do they? They're kind of, or would it be for hunchbacks because they're always looking down because they have a hunchback, or people who don't want to look up from their phones, or i.e. are addicted to their phones. And that's really what I thought it was. The other two were just kind of jokes. But little did I know that it would get, you know, it's got a lot of traction. It's getting, I think, anywhere between 15 to 20,000 views a day now. It's still going, you know. I've gotten 100, 150 new followers from it. And yeah, I'll play the audio of it for you now.
Feeling grateful today for these traffic lights.
Okay, so I'm just standing at the traffic lights. The camera is
Just feeling
the
grateful.
camera is the camera's pointed down at the little traffic lights. I'll play it for you now. Hold on.
Just feeling grateful today for these traffic lights in the ground in Dublin City. For some reason, I don't know if they're for cats or hunchbacks or just so people don't have to look up from their phones. Hey, the concrete man is red. Stop it. Stop it. You're not a cat or a hunchback. Yeah, also just want to shout out for the look left sign on this one-way street also. Thank you. Traffic light green. Thank you. Thanks. Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, during the recording of the video, people as usual ignored any signals anyway and just crossed the road. And I was just saying, you know, you're not a cat or a hunchback, don't cross. And also there's a look left sign printed into the street where it's one way street. Like, I just, we're really devolving, aren't we? We're evolving in some ways, but we're really devolving in others. I mean, if you have to, uh, now, the reason why I brought this up is because I have received some backlash on the in the comment section, and I mean, I suppose no matter what you put up, there's got to be backlash, hasn't there? So I wasn't really expecting it for this, but my God, they found a way, and I'm gonna read out some of the comments now and my responses to those comments for you now, because I think they're quite interesting. See what you think. Uh, so there hasn't been that much. It's been mainly positive, people going. I asked what they're for, obviously, and people are kind of just like,
Just feeling grateful.
oh, they're for phone addicts, and they have them in Korea, apparently in South Korea. I'll read out a few comments now. Where is this now? Hold on 1 second. There's been 160 comments altogether. I responded to everything. Mainly positive. I mean, I'm going through them here. Someone's like, "Oh, I have an account dedicated to the epic walking symbols in Ireland, but I hadn't seen these ones yet." So there you go. Someone said, "Probably yes for morons who never look up from their phone even as they're walking." And people are like, "It's for distracted pedestrians at busy junctions with a lot of people. Won't only one of these people see it?" And someone said, "Traffic lights for very sad people." That's lovely. See, you can't get tone from a comment, so I don't know if these people are messing or what, or if they're serious. People are like, "Cool, where is that?" And then I got a really sad one actually. Someone said, "That would be cool, because I don't like looking up anymore. The world isn't the same without my favourite person. That's now in heaven, so when I look up, I gotta act like I'm happy, but I'm not, and that would be so cool to see all over Ireland." Just likes looking at the ground. I says, "You're alright, I hope you're okay. They would want you to be happy. Don't give up," I said. Someone said, "Perfect example of if we don't spend the budget, we lose it next year." That got 500 comments or something. Or likes. Someone said, "It's great when you're using an umbrella as well. Traffic lights in the ground." People saying, "Where is it?" So it's pretty good. The most popular comment so far was this one. Someone said, "Probably for people with very limited vision, 10 to 20% or so. Easier and closer to see that than, say, the light up high." Uh, I said, "Ah, I see." I don't know how they reacted to that. Someone else saw them in Spain. Okay, so yeah, there's people giving out about people on their phones. Obviously, it is, which is something I love highlighting. I love highlighting phone addiction. I just think I love highlighting that. It wrecks my head. Uh, Someone said, "My 8-year-old autistic daughter is not road safe aware, despite me trying to get her to look for the green man. These would probably help me teach her." I said, "Yeah, that's a good idea. But it would be dangerous to be reliant on these, as a car may break the lights and you wouldn't see because you're looking at the symbols on the ground." Um, Someone said, "As someone with poor vision, I would love this. I have such a hard time seeing the sign across the street." I think they meant hard time. Probably struggle to see the keyboard. Sorry, I think. Yeah. Someone said they're for depressed people. So here we go. This is when it got serious. Then a woman with glasses, and she has a cat in the picture with her. There's more cat than her in her profile picture. Severe kyphosis is what you're referring to as hunchback, and there's a lot of conditions that can result in posture where you can't look up. I can't imagine how awful that must be. Dude, punch up and not down. This wasn't even funny. I responded, "Well, it wasn't called a severe kyphosis sufferer of Notre Dame, was it? How was I supposed to know? Plus, they're for phone zombies mainly, so calm down there and stop lecturing people." I came back strong. She says, "You asked who they were for. I gave you information. There's a way of making a joke without being insulting." I said, "I just asked who were they for in a light-hearted way. And in fact, if you're going to take it literally, berated people disrespecting them and crossing too early in the video. I mean, I said it's the phone addicted zombies that they're really for. It's Disney you need to be annoyed at. They were the origin of the hunchback term. Next time I'll use the correct language." She said, "Victor Hugo, K-Bye." I think, yeah, he wrote a novel, I think, called that. So she got me there. I said, "All the best." So that was the first angry one. Now, uh, someone said a sign of the times, pun intended. Didn't get many likes at all. Not surprised. There was an article in the journal.ie about them apparently in May. I didn't know that. Now that was, so we only want the angry ones here, don't we? The angry ones are the funniest. Oh well, someone said the day you don't look left, you'll get taken out by a bike or a pigeon. Let's see. Someone said it's for the Americans so we don't get killed. We never look the right way because your traffic is coming from the opposite direction from ours. So thank you. Oh, here we go. This was today. I enjoyed this one. Uh, okay. This lady said, "Is making fun of disabled people funny? No. In general, if you don't understand why something exists, it's not for you." Fair enough. Wasabi. I said it's called a joke. Isn't everyone equal? Also, they're for phone zombies. She said, "Number one, jokes are funny. This isn't. Number two, no, everyone isn't equal. That's literally what's wrong with society. Number three, why do you think people become phone zombies? Untreated mental illness, undiagnosed ADHD, or other disability. Number four, disabled is the only minority everyone, if they live long enough, will become. Or you could become any minute. Check your privilege." So I responded, "I'd say you're a good crack at parties." Haven't heard back. I'm actually scared to hear back. I'm talking about a traffic light, you know what I mean? Like a traffic light. Um. So yeah, that was that. Oh, someone else said, "Hunchback is a horrible disease, so stop mocking, please. Dot dot dot. Stop." I said, "Okay." And then someone defended me and said, "Where in the video were hunchbacks the butt of a joke?" And then, yeah. So, to anyone with severe kyphosis, you know, hopefully they put more of these traffic lights in. For phone zombies, wake up and smell the coffee and cross the road, without having your. I just think it's a shame that we've had to install these things, and they're only at one set of traffic lights in Dublin that I've seen. So I mean, no big deal, really, you know. But yeah, that people are enjoying looking at that clip anyway. I did another one as well, actually. That's going pretty well. It's about. It's basically me driving into one of these service stations. This one in particular was on the way to, where was I going? Wexford, I think, off the N11, M11, whatever you call it. And I really don't like Circle K compared to Apple Green in general. I like Texaco. I like Maxall. I don't like Circle K, and it got me thinking about why do I not like it? Is the branding? It's just red and white, isn't it? It's kind of they have the one theme, and I don't know what it is. It's just that there's not many. It's quite an automated place. You don't have delis in there with people behind the deli making fresh sandwiches. It's all packaged. The coffee is just, there's no baristas, as far as I know. Yeah, I don't like it. Maybe some people do. I don't know, but to me, them Apple Green stations are great. Fresh pastries, a great selection of pastries there the whole time. I think what done it for me in Circle K was I saw a croissant in a bag. I was like, they've no pride in their pastries. That's basically one of the things. They've no pride in their coffee. It's a pure cost cutting exercise and just a pure, it's the epitome of the human experience being taken out of transactions. That's Circle K to me. And then the people working there are always miserable. Not always, but like I just don't like it. And I felt a bit guilty about dissing Circle K in that reel because it could lead to people not going there and then ultimately some people losing their jobs or whatever. It obviously won't, but I think only 25,000 have what looked at this one. That's all, hardly anything. But it has got a lot of comments and traction and stuff, and people seem to like it. Um, but yeah, I was just thinking about why is Circle K? Why do I feel not like going in there? Now in the US, I will say I've visited Circle K's and they're different. They are a bit more personable. Uh, yeah, there was a Circle K beside where I camped in Florida actually, and they had these chicken and cranberry sandwiches, and I think just if they brought them into the Circle K now, I'd probably be like, oh, I take it back. I'll delete that reel. You know, it's mad as well how as well with that with a couple of reels going well on Instagram, a couple of clips going well. I was on my phone so much more, just checking getting the dopamine hits. Every time I open my phone, there's new likes. Every like 20 seconds or something, someone new was liking the post, and it's still a bit like that. It's now about every 2 or 3 minutes, but it's just like, oh yeah, more likes. You get the little red dot, and it's like pressing the red dot. Oh, someone likes it, someone commented. It's just I never experienced anything like that before, and it just made me be just opening my phone and getting that dopamine hit much more. You know, long may it last. I'm basically of the opinion of like, yeah, while I have it, it's good. I'm getting followers. That's the purpose. Now I don't know if those followers translate to selling tickets for stand up, which is obviously the goal that you want to do. I don't know. Like, will I have to write a joke about the old hunchback traffic lights? I don't know. Uh, Start writing material about traffic lights in the ground. I don't know. I don't know how it will work, but the pressure of the next, like, luckily, like the clip after the reel I put up after the traffic lights one was the one going into the garage, and that done pretty well. Then because I was worried about releasing the next one and it's just going back to normal numbers, of like 1,000 views or something, and like 10 likes, and just get being shite. And I did actually release one that I thought would do well yesterday. There was a fella walking down through Dublin City, and his trousers were hanging down like halfway down his arse. You can see his arse cracking. I just took the phone out and recorded him, slowed it down, and put a rap song behind it and a little voiceover of like a couple of funny quips. But TikTok took it down for community violation or whatever, so I didn't even make it up there. And then Instagram, it just didn't go well at all. So I deleted it. I kind of deleted it. Like I felt a bit guilty about recording your man's arse. But then if it had got loads of views, I wouldn't care if it was arse at all. But then because it didn't, I used the excuse now that it was because of his arse, but it wasn't. It's just because it was a bad reel that no one liked. uh, what else? Yeah, a little update. I was at a stag party in Killarney a couple of weeks ago. A couple of lads now who the McGrath brothers now. I was with them. They listened to this. It's one of them gave me feedback. Actually, he prefers episodes when I'm by myself rather than with guests. Other people like the guest ones more. Like my mum, she prefers the one with the guests. They're great. You get all different feedback, and it you know, I have to really. It's hard to. My gut instinct is I enjoy doing both, but I really enjoy expressing myself directly in this way by myself. But then you have to take into account, is that what the people want or not? You know? So it's very hard to know what to do. I mean, it's all part of it. I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm glad to be doing it. I'm glad to have people listening and watching, you know, and I appreciate it. So I just want to make it the best podcast I can. Um, what else? It's my sister's birthday. It was Kate. What a legend! I was doing a festival on her birthday in Dundalk. We did about an hour from where I live. A comedy festival, music and comedy festival, and had a few drinks for Kate's birthday. Then after came back, had a few drinks on my own. She didn't even know about the drinks, so that was nice. Um, yeah, some fella. We walked into a pub in Killarney, a little small pub. All the. I arrived at about 6 or 7 in the evening. The lads had been there a few hours, a few of them. First pub I went into, there's this fella sitting at the bar with a bald head, and I'm just thinking, okay, this fella's mad for a bit of crack here, mad for a bit of action, interaction. And I wasn't wearing a cap or anything like that. You know what I mean? The hair was. Look at me here. You know, you can't see it there, but it's very unruly. My hair in general, but I had a bit of gel in it. There wasn't too much wind. I had my spray with me. Uh, so it was all right. First thing he says, he comes up to me and he's like, "Jess, that's a very confident haircut. Very confident. What's your name? Billy Bob, is it? Billy Bob?" I, I was like, "What do you say to that?" Like, I was like, "No, Dan, actually." And I was like, "Jess, if hair equals confidence, then I'd say you don't have much confidence." She was bald, you know. And he goes, "Oh, you're very funny, aren't you? You're very." I says, "I am actually a comedian." So, yeah, bitch. I didn't say that. I just thought it. But very nice fella. Very heavy drinker. Um, well, there was a lot of emotions going through him that he wasn't letting out. I could kind of see it in him, you know. But what a night we had. The night just flew by. We were out and about in a nightclub in Killarney. Great chats. There was tears shed. There was fellas collapsing. There was, you know, there was everything. I was up till 5 or 6 in the morning. The night just flew by, did. And next day I was tired. Went for a few drinks on the Saturday then during the day, and then went for a massive feed of fish in a fish bar. Had an early night Saturday. Drove home Sunday. Had to stop on the way back on Sunday. Stopped at the old Apple Green, you know, and went to sleep for half an hour. Put the chair back, the car seat back. Went to sleep. Woke up glistening with sweat. I must have been in a hot spot. Car was quite hot as well, but yeah, it was great. And yeah, I that was the week before last, and then this weekend was the festival on my sister's birthday. We had a lovely dinner in my family house. Uh, it's quite a hard time for my family at the moment. We lost my brother in a couple of weeks. It'll be his 2 year anniversary, so it's quite a somber time. Have to be quite mindful with each other and how we're all dealing with it. It's all new to us. We lost him quite suddenly and in a quite tragic way. So it's hard to it's hard to talk about really. It's hard for me to know how much to say here. It's hard to know I'm very open about it, but you also have to value the private when other family members want to be more private about it. Uh, I don't know how I'm gonna handle it myself. I've never had therapy. I studied counselling and psychotherapy for like a year during the times when my brother was struggling to try and understand it a bit more and maybe help. Um, but he was so smart. I remember one day I was in talking to him and he was having a tough time and he was getting a bit agitated, and having a hard time. And an argument kind of started, and he goes, and he knew I'd done the course, He was like, he thought it was cool when he was in a good mood. He thought it was like cool, and he was like, "Don't use your fucking keywords on me." I was like, "Oh my god, he's just too smart." But yeah, as a big family, 5 siblings. There's 5 of us left now. There'll always be 6, but there's 5 left on this earth now. And we all deal with it differently. My mother and father deal with it differently again then, so we have to be very mindful of how we go about dealing with it, and I have to be mindful of how much I share online about it and how much I talk about it, because I want to be respectful to my fellow family members as well. Um but yeah, so that's coming up. Don't know why I started talking about that, but it's the reality of the situation. So that's that. Uh there will be more guests coming on soon as well. I am starting another little series soon, another little season. That's going to be something different. I mentioned it earlier. I'm going to do a little bit of writing and a little bit of have a little bit of fun with that. We'll see how it goes. I'm all for trying new stuff all the time. I had the AI alligator on, the AI crocodile. You know, I don't know if I still don't know. I'm looking at him now. I don't know if he's an alligator or a crocodile. He's a lamp, really. But as much as people, it's not really in me either to go down that road of AI interaction. I don't really want to. I prefer human interaction. I prefer stuff that's coming from the soul and from oneself rather than from an AI generated robot. So I'm gonna keep it natural from now on. I learned my lesson. I felt uneasy as well with the AI. Although it will have its place, and it's interesting. I was getting quite annoyed at it sometimes. I remember when I started doing the bit of AI stuff. I there was a episode that I did end up getting quite angry with it. And maybe it would be good entertainment, me versus that thing again in an argument. But look, we'll see where it goes. Um, I'm in a fortunate situation where I'm building a little wooden shack for myself in the garden of where I live now. I'll be moving out of where I live now. My sister's building a house on this land. Fair play to her. It's great, and then I'll be having my own little place, uh, made of wood, and uh, with the river at the back of it. It's a river forest area. It's extremely polluted river, but it looks nice. That's the main thing, isn't it? Doesn't matter how polluted something is. Once it looks good, who cares? I'll fish into it as well. I'll fish out of it into it. Do you fish in or out of it? Both, I suppose. Uh, Probably catch some radioactive trout. Um, but other than that, yeah, it's been nice to get some new followers on Instagram. The podcast with Dane Frisbee went very well. People like Dane. I call it. Dane's been on twice now, and when I have him on, there's a big. You see the graph with all the views on it or the listens, and it's just a big spike. I call it the Frisbee effect. Um, I'd love to have Dane on as a regular guest. I think he's brilliant. You know. And I've had a few guests where I'd love to have them on as a regular guest or even as a co-host. I'd love to have a co-host sometimes. And why not have that sometimes? There's no limitations here, folks. Alright? And please give me your suggestions in the comments either on YouTube or Spotify, or send me a message or something if you have a what you think would be a good name for the podcast. I have some ideas myself, but I think the truth is in there is not comedic enough. At the moment, it's not. It doesn't express what I want to express anymore. It doesn't really line up anymore, and that's fine. So I'm not going to stick with it. I did spend 60 quid on that poster behind me, so that's a bit of a kick in the teeth. I'll have the buy me a coffee link in the description. Got that in there well. But yeah, the name of the podcast will be changing, but the content will be more of the same and more. We'll be expanding. I always go by the info of the analysis of the episodes. I see when people listen and when they like it. That's what people like, and when people don't listen and they don't watch the episode, then I know they don't like that. So, but it's hard to please everyone. But I do like doing these ones by myself. I hope that you've enjoyed it as well. Today's episode, I just went a bit loose with it, and it's just a bit of an update, really. Thanks for everyone who has. I really mean it. It's really cool to have. I think I have 145 followers now on Spotify, and it's just brilliant. I'm just delighted with that. And I think about 70 or 80 people are listening, and on YouTube there's been a couple of hundred views on the last episode. I feel absolutely delighted with that. So thank you all so much. I'm just trying to progress and improve as both a host and a podcaster in general as time goes on. So hopefully I can do that for you guys, and hopefully more people come on board. And that's about all I have to say for this episode. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please follow along if you haven't already. Or if you're new, follow the Spotify page. It's on Apple as well, by the way, and other podcast platforms. The episodes are on YouTube now. Also, so like and subscribe. I am considering my options on YouTube. I'm not sure that my kind of podcast is for YouTube. I think other type of content might be good for YouTube. But I don't know. I'll keep monitoring it. Keep your eye on the traffic lights. And stay away from Circle K. It's soulless. A soulless place. Let's shut down Circle K. I've decided in the last few minutes, let's shut it down. More Applegreen, less Circle K. That's the kind of world I want to live in. And no, it's not because I get away with stealing pastries in Applegreen. It's definitely not that. I think we're enjoying a time now in the big service stations where there's a lack of communication between all the shops. You can just... Anyway, I'll say no more about that. And I will say goodbye, and I'll talk to you again on the next one. Thank you.